Okay, I have no idea how I missed this, that the Panasonic S5IIE has been out for the past 2 months. And as someone who shoots on the S5IIX and the S5IIs, I've got some thoughts that I just wanted to share. This might just be the closest we've gotten to the perfect Panasonic video camera, and that makes sense. Of course, they're going to get better. And I am personally both excited by this camera and also a little bit jealous because, well, let me tell you later. I've only just found out about the camera after seeing Josh Cameron's video that he's just released on it. And from what I've seen, the upgrades here are really exactly as a S5IIX shooter, what I was looking for. Now, to be clear, this is not a hands-on review. I do not have the S1IIE. This is just my genuine reaction as a Panasonic user who shoots with these cameras and has done for many years. Now, my favorite and key upgrade in this is the revolving screen. I loved this feature on the GH7s, and I wished the S5II and the S5IIXs had this screen, but of course they were going to wait and save this for the more premium versions. But it has been my biggest frustration in the S5IIX. When filming with the S5II, S5IIX, any camera that has a flippy outside screen, it's really frustrating trying to film and face in front of the camera as you're filming, but then having to look to the side as you're filming in that direction. The design on the S1IIE negates that. You can look directly in the direction that you're filming with the screen facing the same direction. If I was to do the same thing on the S5IIX, I would have to have the camera up, or I'd have to look down at the camera as I was filming. This is a seemingly small change, but as someone who films with these cameras on a regular basis for professional settings, it is extremely frustrating to have that. I wish that I had the same thing on my S5IIX. And that is a substantial upgrade. Then for me personally, the next big upgrade is the 32-bit float audio. I don't say that because it is just the next big upgrade. It genuinely is an extremely useful feature to have in these cameras. It makes it future-proof. This is a pro feature that is a game changer in filmmaking. When it comes to me right now trying to record 32-bit audio, I have to jerry-rig things. I have to have separate audio devices to be able to have everything wired straight into my camera without needing extra batteries, extra things to charge before I leave, extra things to plug in. This is extremely useful, and this makes it worth it. This makes the extra price tag seem more valuable in paying, more worthwhile in paying. And the 32-bit float, it is worth it. When you're turning up on set and you don't have that much time to do sound tests or checking the audio levels, you know as a professional where you're supposed to put the mics to get the best audio. You put it in the right places, and then you let the 32-bit float do the rest. Now, yes, if you're in a team and you're trying to get the best work possible and you have the budget to be able to do these things properly and the time to do it, then of course you're going to do all the checks. But for a lot of my shoots, I am a self-shooter who's usually recording a few interviews, then a bunch of B-roll on the location. The ability to just be able to set up the mic and forget it would save me so much time and enable me to capture so much other footage in other areas. And the 32-bit float allows me to do that. Obviously, this then comes with the additional price tag of the XLR2. So we're really talking £2,800 for this camera. Then the extra additional little feature that I think is really small but really beneficial is the little tally light. It's so simple but really thoughtful addition. If you film yourself or you film others, to have that little indication that the camera is rolling makes such a difference. As a wedding filmmaker, as someone who conducts interviews or films himself, to be able to look at a glance at a second camera and see that it's still recording is so helpful, especially when you're far away in weddings. So all of these things, to me, add up to this being a worthwhile purchase if you don't already own the Panasonic S5IIX. Because the one thing they haven't resolved, which I am personally waiting for in these cameras, is the APSC crop in the 4K filming aspect ratios. Yes, this is resolved in the S1R2. However, that has overheating issues. So I personally will wait out until the S1H2 comes out. It is what I personally am waiting for, and perhaps others too. But if I didn't already own the S5IIX, these are really good features that would definitely tempt me into buying the S1IIE. If these cameras came out side by side, I think the decision would have been easier. But the price difference now between the S5IIX and now this S1IIE is quite a big gap. But for £800, and so you say £400 for the revolving screen, £400 for the 32-bit float recording capability when you can later on afford the XLR adapter, those I believe are worthwhile investments. As this being your workhorse of a camera, those are two features which are so useful. Then you have the additional bonus of the tally light. So anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on the S1IIE as a long-time Panasonic shooter. What do you guys think? Is this the upgrade we've been waiting for, or are you going to hold out just like me? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please do like, subscribe. And if you want to know one of the key features about the Panasonic S5II and S5IIX, which I think no one's really talking about, which is how much money you can save on the recording media, then please do check out this video.